Hi guys, good morning. It's ridiculous o'clock again. I keep waking up very early, between 4 and 5 in the morning. I'm sure that's meaningful in some way, but there are so many meaningful things happening. I mean, there's meaningful shit going down fucking everywhere. It's maddening almost. But I felt compelled to do this video this morning. Damn it, this happens every time I sit down to do video, right? It's fucking bullshit, but anyway, I'll press on. I'll subscribe to a YouTube channel that I liked. It had to do with the Schumann resonance and whatnot. But I hadn't visited this channel for quite a while, just because I got away from YouTube a bit and just busy doing other things, whatever. Anyway, because of the intensity of the last week, which has been intense in a weird and different way for me, it's almost as if the hell contagion is being purged out through me physically more so than mentally and emotionally at the moment. I mean, I was lying in bed last night and all my muscles, my nerve endings, everything was cranky. It's like I couldn't lay still. It was very strange, and I just haven't got any I just haven't really got a handle on it, other than I felt as if something was leaving my etheric field, something dark and nasty and nefarious, you know. But anyway, so I clicked on this channel this morning whilst I was having my coffee, and it all started out quite well. And it gave me a sense of lift up, which, considering what type of day I had yesterday and what kind of night I had, I felt in need of, you know, like a lift off, something like, you know, something on the external plane to tell me that everything is going to work out all right. Now that's all wrong, of course, but that's how we tick, because that is how we've been programmed to tick from the get-go. And this leads me perfectly into the subject matter of this fucking video, because guess what? All went well for the first, 8-9 minutes, and then all of a sudden the dreaded, ominous, dark fucking word comes up again. God. Yes. God. I don't know how many of you have noticed, but there is a massive upsurge of patriarchal religion going on. It's cleverly being disguised as true spirituality. It is shrouded in ritualistic jargon and esoteric jargon. It's putting on a different face and then putting on another face. It's making itself look feminine, then it's making itself look masculine, and we have all these minions espousing it, you know, that put their own kind of veneer on it, but ultimately it is all the same thing. It's a classic hijack. It's a classic hijack. You know, when you look at history, and actually that's not even a good idea, because the history that we've been given is a pack of lies. It's like Martin Liedtke said, that the fuckery is biblical, haha, and it sort of really is. It's epic. The fuckery is epic. When you take away people's past, when you take away their past, when you block off where they came from, then you block off effectively what they are. Then, and if you replace that with a lie, with a massive psyop lie, you've got that individual by the balls. You've got people by the balls in a big way. Now, it's not to say that I believe any of this is real, because I don't. You know what my feelings are on the subject matter. However, I've still got to look at the external in terms of trends, energetic trends, energetic curves and waves and expressions. And what I see happening is a war, as it were. There is the true light. The true light is, I call it the Great Mother. Now, the Great Mother is an energy form. It's like, call it an archetype, but it's also an energetic frequency that lives within us and is all around us. It is all about empowerment. It's all about returning to our true north, our true self, the ultimate I am. The fact that we are powerful creator beings. Okay? That is what that is. Imagine a mother that seeks, that loves her children infinitely, completely. There is no sin, there is no guilt, there is no stain of any kind. There is just infinite unconditional love and creativity. We are a part of that. We are that intrinsically. Alright? And, well, we find ourselves in this realm where that truth is under constant assault, because that truth is the ultimate enemy of the forces of evil. Of course it is. So this woman, then she, all of a sudden she just starts talking, I was in church and I was praying to God and God's plan for me, and how all the people in the world are just so wonderful and amazing, and God's plan for them. And I'm like, alright, that's it. So I literally had to click off, unsubscribe, and sit there with my rage for like, I don't know, whatever. Because people that I've known from before this insane lockdown bullshit, whatever thing went down, that we're walking the path and we're genuine and we're going within and whatnot, and all of a sudden it's all about God. It's all about, it's not, no, I'm not powerful. I'm just a minion of the God of the Bible, and that's what I am. Now it's really clever, these hijacks. You see, like back in the 60s, the counterculture, isn't that interesting? Isn't that happening again? Cancel culture, counterculture, it's all the same thing. It's always gaslighting, it's always a manipulation, it's always a psyop. It's always about eviscerating the individual, eviscerating society, which is made up of individuals. That's why they call it now, this whole communism, Marxism. No, it isn't, it's Bolshevism. It's actually all about totally eviscerating the individual. And since a communism is made up of individuals, if it's made up of eviscerated individuals, what do you have? You have China. You have Stalin murdering, 50 million people, starving them to death. That is not communism. That's just Babylonian. Call it Babylonianism. Why don't we call it that? It's all a psyop. It's all a fucking psyop, This if any of you are familiar with your Bibles and you read the story, just read the Old Testament, I would say. Read the Old Testament. And it will tell you everything you need to know. It is nasty. It's a psychopathic god. They call in the Gnostic Gospels, they call it the demiurge, the false god. And it is. If you look into this world and you see how it's all about psychopathy, a complete absence of love, compassion, empathy. It's brutal. It is the darkest of the darkest side of masculinity. It's about control. It's about taking what you want to shove in your dark maw. The inversion. There is never enough. I'm going to take from everything and everyone until it's gone, until it's dead. I'm going to take, I'm going to murder, I'm going to rape, I'm going to rot, I'm going to pillage, I'm going to devour. I'm going to devour children. I'm going to devour nature. I'm going to devour. I hate you. I hate myself. It's an inverted, putrid hell. That is what God is. That is what God's creation is. God has usurped this realm. It's an archetypal type of energy of inversion, people. It didn't create anything. It simply insinuated itself into and has usurped it, has hijacked it, you see. And all these nice people that, well, a lot of them, it has to be said, they were kind of stupid, chuckle-headed morons anyway, as indeed they always are, aren't they? They simply get taken over or insinuated or absorbed into whatever prevailing current happens to be around. And you know, if it, first it was New Age and it was like, oh, I'm doing face yoga and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But you're not really going within and dealing with the hell contagion here, are you, darling? No, you're not. No. Somebody left a really good comment a while ago, Red Herring Media, hi, saying that people avoid their inner selves like the plague. This is absolutely true, and it is in a myriad of incredibly clever ways do people avoid their inner self, their inner truth, which is that there is a consciousness virus. I know this more now than ever before. I had it all day yesterday. It was pure malevolent psychic attack all day. And it's really hard to deal with when it lives in your own head, when it's in your head. It manifests in your thoughts against you, telling you that you're never going to be all right, you're never going, that evil within. You know, I don't have to go into it too much, because for any of you who are genuinely going within, who are genuinely facing the demons within, the virus, what I call the hell contagion, you know all about it. You know how it manifests. You also know that that is what manifests reality, one way or another. No doubt it's more complex than that, or maybe it's less complex than that, I don't know. But it's, you know, again, I fly by the seat of my pants. I do the best I can, you know, and I'm always open to more gnosis, because I know that there are some things I may know, but there's a shitload more that I do not know, and that the Great Mother within me and all around me shall reveal to me, for she has promised to do just that, and has never ever yet reneged on her promise. But it has been a long, long road. And it feels incredibly scathing and cranky and agonizing at the moment when I see what is happening here. That this attempted insinuation, this attempted hijack, yet again, by evil, the false light. You see, this is what it always has been, you see. The false light, yet again, is doing what it always fucking does. But I'm seeing it, and I'm calling it out. so clever. I mean, it looks, there was also a YouTube channel there of this guy with his dreads, and it's all about, the Love and Light Meditation Club, and it all looks so wholesome, you know, and so happy. And it is, yet again, the Coca-Cola ad. I want to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Right? Coca-Cola. Yeah. It makes very good toilet cleaner, apparently. But it also rots your fucking insides. That is what the false light fucking does. Oh, the rage I felt. And it's interesting, you see, because what has been happening here, in my little bubble of reality or whatever, everything on the external that I used to perhaps use as a kind of crutch, like, oh, well, if you say it's like this, maybe then I'm validated and then it's okay then, you know, like that little bit of a fucking dopamine click with regards to I need a little bit of support here. All of that is simply disintegrating. It's simply showing itself up as, oh, another one bites the dust. Oh, and another one bites the dust. Oh, and another one bites the dust. Because, oh, everybody's capitulating to the false light of the fake fucking patriarchal, nasty, evil Babylonian shit that chameleon-like has changed itself in yet another fake savior complex where, oh, it's the will of God. Oh yeah, whatever plans God has for me, I will just fall in line and do exactly as I'm told. And if God wants to, you know, rape my children, then that's okay, because it's the will of God. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. I mean, it makes itself look so wonderful. It does that. It just does. I, you know, remember back in the day, my mother thought Billy Graham was like the be-all and end-all of, you know, he was a saint. He was like the reimagining of Moses, you know, leading his people out of the land of Egypt. Like, it was incredible. It only turns out, of course, that the guy's a frequent visitor to Bohemian Grove and loves to rape 5-year-old girls. All these people that used to talk about yoga and meditation and eating vegan food now talk about God and the will of God and, oh, whatever plans God has for me, and, you know, and it's all this, and it's very egotistical as well, because you can tell by the smirky kind of expressions on their faces and the cliquiness of it all as well. They're all there and they're all very cliquey, because I don't know why, but it seems to fear individuality. They need each other. It's like glue or like mercury, actually. You know, when you put several drops of mercury on a dish, they gravitate towards one another, and it's a bit like that. It's like mercury, you know. Oh, we need each other, we're going to stick together because, oh, it's the will of God. And but it's like, oh, you know, then they start talking about the pineal glands and they start talking about the chakras, and now all of a sudden it's like the old evil satanic religion, the Babylonian religion, is now merging with the new age. And isn't it interesting, guys, how some of us saw this coming for many, many years, how we said that the new age is the false religion that was born in, well, actually in the 50s, actually, no, it was even before then, because you think about things like Madame Blavatsky, or, you know, the guy that wrote, you know, was it Arthur Conan Doyle? They were all heavily into it. And even, say, Christian mysticism, Sufism, you know, there's a little known religion called the Baha'i faith, which again has a lot of influence in these, or Buddhism. All these religions, even the so-called maverick religions, lead into exactly this same pit of inversion. They always tell us that we are nothing and that we are but minions of the Creator, right? And in some of these sort of maverick religions, the Creator is seen as feminine, but actually, when you really investigate its energy, it's masculine. So it's a masculine pretending to be the feminine. it's like the Illuminati. They have all these so-called feminine symbols like Isis, and all these things, but it's actually not. It is the rape of the divine feminine turned into like almost like a hybrid, you know. It's I'd rather not really go into that because, wow, and I really don't know enough about it, but I do know that it's a hijack. They turn everything around, they misshape it, they bend it out of shape, they, you know, that is what they do. And it's always the same thing. It's always about the mind virus hiding itself, turning itself into different things. Subterfuge. The Hall of Mirrors. I don't exist. Look, this isn't evil. This is of the light. I'm not really here. And if you feel hate and rage, then you shouldn't look at it. It's bad. You should sit there and meditate and love and light, love and light, love and light. Whatever you do, I want you to remain unaware of me sitting in your consciousness and running the fucking show. So all the people that were not going within, that were not doing the work, that were not seeing the truth of this realm, feeling what that realm, what the trauma gateway, feeling that, getting into understanding and feeling and beginning to dig into the self-hate, the self-sabotage. Because guys, anyone who has trouble understanding this is not, yeah, they're not at it. This world is such a horrific trauma trap. We have had to literally, in order for us, well, the fact that we are here, we have lived in this place, it has given us its mind. It has literally given us its mind and its body. It lives in us and we live in it, and that is the truth, people. It is inversion, it is pure evil. It is hell, and a part of our consciousness is hell consciousness. You know, and a soul traveler is somebody, is a being that can completely and utterly see that has all the tools and the abilities to be able to fully understand the truth of this experience and to alchemize it and neutralize it. You see? We are doing that, and we are very successful with that too, even though as yet it doesn't show. What is showing is an upsurge of false light. And that shows us something, doesn't it? I've been saying this all along. I think I said it quite a few videos back. I said, you know, the false prophets will rise. And in them you shall see the truth. It cannot help but expose itself, no matter how it twists and turns, no matter which mask it puts on. By their works shall ye know them. It's all these beautiful people, beautiful faces, and these shiny eyes. But if you really peer into these eyes, what do you see? You see the mercury, the black oil, yeah? They have many subscribers. There's only these channels. I was talking with a friend about this the other day, fractions, and I'll be talking about that. You know, you have these channels that literally have millions of subscribers, or at the very least like hundreds of thousands. And that is how you know you're dealing with something that is not of the light. everything on the external plane that we have used for reassurance, for validation, for vindication, for support, it seems to me, is revealing itself one way or another to have clay feet, to be built on sand. And it's happening for a reason. It's happening because it's only when all our crutches are taken away that we are literally forced to choose. What it makes you feel initially is an absolute abject dread that, oh, it's the hijack is happening again. There was an upsurge of true consciousness, but it's being hijacked again. Evil always wins. Okay, well, we'll just not take that leap of faith then. We'll just go back into the dark. I know I felt that yesterday and I could not snap out of it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm not sure I'm even doing it right now. I feel a little lighter, or a little less dark would probably be a better expression. It's very hard, guys. It's very hard when on the external plane all of that evil, gaslighty nonsense is happening, and here you are. Your body may be not in a good state. Your life circumstances are pretty fucked. Things are shit. Mentally, emotionally, physically, materially, everything is shit. So you're there, you think, oh, I have no reason to trust the Great Mother, my true self. I have no reason to trust that. The Force. I have no reason to trust it. What has it done for me? Has it delivered me? But you see, I said it before and I'll say it again. It's an interactive thing. God does things to you, for you are but a tool, an object he uses, right? He doesn't give a fuck about you. You know, he's a psychopath. I mean, it's like Ted Bundy didn't give a fuck about the women he tortured and murdered. No. And God equally is a psychopath. He looks at you as a thing that for him to use. And he claims to have created you. And these people are there, grateful to exist in that horrific paradigm. They don't see through it. They're grateful and they're humble. Yes, they are. Okay. The Great Mother, your true self, it's one thing. Once you wants to make you whole again, has come with you into this realm, exists in a maverick effect, the miraculous, weird flow of events and consciousness, movements, dance, whatever. And so all that darkness and insanity, the maze, the gaslighting, the psyop, we have continually refound our true self again and again and again. We may veer off the path, so-called, and get lost in the darkness. I certainly did yesterday. I have no idea what today will bring. But it's a choice you make over and over again. But you know what? Sometimes, no matter how much you want to choose to trust in the light, you just can't muster it. Because the hell contagion, your trauma, is saying, well, I don't trust you because you haven't delivered me, because this shit is going on and on and on, and now I see all these people possessed by this hijack, it's the will of God, and we are God's minions, and God's plan, and God's this, and God's that. They should just call it what it is, because really it's the devil, it's Satan. It's Baal. Baal is what it is. The devourer of children. You see, that is, the God of the Bible is Baal. You see, the God of the Philistines. But anyway, when you see that happening, When you see that happening within people you thought were on the page, it causes an internal earthquake. It makes you lose your footing for a minute there. You think, what the fuck? Can I trust? Because we're already having trouble. We're already in the seesaw momentum here of, well, maybe I shouldn't trust the great mother, my true self, and just stay in the dark, because at least I won't be disappointed, and all of that. And when that shit happens on the external plane, that feeds right into the hell contagion. Oh yeah, it's like, oh well, there you go. See, there's proof that you're fucked and evil always wins. But on the other side of it, it's utilised in a very different way, and it says, well, no, I want you to completely self-actualise. I want you to be completely self-determined. I want you to be purely the I am. I am. I am. All, and I am whole. I am a creator being. I belong in this great, vast ocean of infinite unconditional love and creativity. I am going to choose to trust that yet again, for despite everything that appears to be happening, and I say appears because nothing here is what it appears to be, the dark side is just but a pack of fucking lies and illusions, people, and that is all it ever was. It simply will do anything to remain on the throne of your consciousness. It will do anything to keep hold of consciousness, the holy grail. That is what it will do, but it will not succeed. If you notice what is happening within your consciousness, despite all the gaslighty nonsense that is going on the external plane, on the internal plane, choose to remember that we belong in the sea of infinite unconditional love and creativity. And when you lose that momentarily and you're on the other side thinking this is all fucked and I am fucked and look at what's happening to my body and it hasn't delivered me and it hasn't given me anything and it hasn't done anything for me and it's just going on and we're never going to get anywhere and it's shit and you start doing silly things and you start feeling that abject self-hate again, because of course when you experience that as your truth, I'm with my back against the wall and there's nothing I can do and evil always wins, you're not going to love yourself, you're going to hate yourself, and it is trauma-based self-hate, which leads to all kinds of torturous behavior. Why do you think there are so many obese people? Why do you think so many people are committing suicide? Why do you think people are self-harming? Why do you think people eat so much food? Why do you think people are into, you know, all the disgusting things that they're into, right? Why do you think people like to watch horror movies? Why do you think people believe everything they're told unquestioningly? Why do you think people are so taken in by the new age and are now taken in by the whole fucking hijack of that, a hijack of a hijack, which it was always going to be that way. It was always going to be the new religion, you know what I mean? We can see it for what it is now. These are the churnings of darkness. And we, as soul travelers, are witnessing this Plato's cave. And it is Plato's cave because there are but shadows on the wall and there are people making all the hand gestures. So we need to turn around and see the people making the hand gestures, and then you realize what they are and that they're not powerful at all, but that the power lies within us. Now, that truth, you see, that is it, that is where it's at, that is the Holy Grail, that is the epiphany, the wow, eureka moment. And yet, everything that has been done to us in this realm has been done to us for one reason only, to take us away from that truth. That's the only reason that that we are so traumatized. That's the only reason that we're so fucking lost. That's the only reason we feel this chaos. That's the only reason we rather go with the dark side and believe that, well, if I do that, then it's better for me. Then, you know, if I expect the worst, I won't be disappointed. It's better to believe evil always wins, and and become a conspiracy theorist like Max Egan and just go on and on and on about how evil's shit, and you need to know this. You need to watch this video. You need to be aware of how evil always wins over and over and over again. You need to watch these videos. I need to tell you this truth. David Icke's another one who does it all the time. You need to hear this. Yet again, how evil always wins, and how big and how bad it is and how powerful it is. That is what these people do over and over and over again. And you know what that does? It feeds the hell contagion in you. And it feeds the matrix. Loosh, people. So what do? Interestingly enough, of course, the other side of that coin is that you feel that hate and that fear and that fucking all the hell contagion. You feel it like I did yesterday. And yeah, it may temporarily be loosh that feeds the matrix, which isn't real, but hey, a consciousness creation. And it may temporarily do that for a little while, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, but I feel clearer now because some more of that poison has left my consciousness. It has been neutralized or alchemized. Okay. Because I've been doing this for years now, guys, and I can tell you, it's all utilized. It is a healing covenant. I have said it before and I'll say it again. We cannot lose. We cannot lose. So when you see the churnings of the dark side and how it's manifesting itself, and how that which you thought you were aligning with in a positive way to your you know, for positive reasons, you know, and it's falling away. Friends are falling away. So much now is falling away, but it had to happen, guys. Because we have to become completely self-reliant, even yet as within us there is the back and forth shit going on. Somehow this will strengthen us, it will rise us, it will uplift us. You know, it's so often the case that things that seem dangerous and bad and negative turn out to be powerful and healing and uplifting and show us in the right way. And that things that seem wholesome and wise and good and supportive turn out to be the exact opposite, you see? Because all that does, all these nice shiny people and their shiny gurus on their yoga mats talking all of a sudden now about God, all of that feeds, and they are like Mercury. They cluster, you know. It's the new religion, cluster fuck. That's what it is, you see. And it shows itself. It shows everything on the external plane up for exactly what it is, you know. So watch it with interest, but do not get sucked into it. Keep going within, because your true self is there, and the great mother, that energy of powerful goodness is there. That is where our power lies. It feels like the ultimate test, isn't it? It's like, whoa, but it's not really. It's all initiatory. It's like initiation. You know, and you know you're not there yet when you're still going through purgings, as it were, of the hell contagion, like I did yesterday. It's like, all right, if that's still going on, then yeah. But we do get to a point where we think, well, is it ever going to be gone? What's going to happen? I know that feeling very well. It's one of the main mechanisms in the... Well, I'm not going to trust my true self at all, because it's never ending with this hell contagion and the psychic attack within my own head. and subsequently on the external plane. But have you noticed, guys, how when you're having a really bad day or a really bad week with the hell contagion and all that inner turmoil and hate and rage and fury and whatnot, everything on the external plane seems to follow suit. Have you noticed that? Have you? And then something happens and things, and all of a sudden you feel that communion again. Ah, yes. Oh, of course. And yeah, that's right. It follows suit. And it works that way because consciousness creates reality. And it ain't over until the fat lady sings, people. So, brave warriors of the light that we are, soul travelers, we must keep walking the true path. What else can we do, right? We have two choices. We can go back and sit in the hell contagion and hate ourselves and, you know, spread that virus. Or we can choose our true self, which is infinite love and infinite creativity, the great mother, and keep aligning ourselves with that over and over and over and over again. And there are going to be days, there might even be weeks where we can't do it, where we just cannot seem to allow ourselves to do that. Because our trauma self, that inner child, is like, no, I'm not going there, I don't trust it, I'm not doing it. And it's very hard going times like that. But those are healing journeys. That is shadow work, and it often manifests that way. And you're not getting it wrong at all. Don't worry about it. There is always your true self has always got you. It's always got your back. Even yesterday, whilst I was feeling all those tortures, it was bad, believe me. Whoa. You find yourself also turning against the ones you love. You know, all of a sudden, and looking at them in a different way. It's like, well, actually, I don't think you're a good person at all. It makes you suspicious, conflict-minded, antagonistic. It does that. It withers the crops. It destroys relationships that could be wholesome and wonderful and good, and, you know, but no, it's like that. It's always negative. It's never positive, you know. It's destructive, and it rots and it withers the crops, people. You see, that is what it does. So pay attention, go within. And when you have these thoughts, like this happened to me, because I went to the farm shop, and there was somebody there that I knew from years back. And we were having a conversation, and it's like, wow, you haven't changed at all. And it's like, oh, but I do yoga and I'm so spiritual. And I'm like, yeah, well, do you go within? Well, I can't remember exactly what I said. And it was like, oh yeah, I go within, I do face yoga, you know. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And she looked good, beautiful hair and good teeth. And I was feeling quite angry. I was like, well, it's not fair. I've done all this work. I want to look good. And I want my hair to be really abundant. I want this and I want that. You see? Now, the immediate reaction would be to slap that down. You can't think like that. You shouldn't feel that way. You're a bad person. You shouldn't feel that way. But I sat back and I watched it all. That inner tussle, that inner ooh. Because that's trauma. And it isn't fair, actually. And it's not that we wish harm on anyone at all either. And we're not bad people. We must feel it all, we must acknowledge it all, everything that happens now on the inner plane. Because, you know, guys, when you're told you're bad and sinful and guilty, you're going to repress, you're going to want it to go away. That is what it's all about. That is how the hell contagion remains in situ. Denial, right? But when you realize that you are blameless, that you are infinite love and creativity, that there is no sin and there is no guilt, that there is only trauma that can be loved whole again, then you are able and willing to look at it, even the darkest of the dark within you, because we have been in this realm and it has given us its mind. It is not of us at all, and everything can be healed when we choose to align ourselves over and over and over again with the true self, the great mother, the I am. You see, that's where it's at. And we will keep getting back to that, and we will keep listening and paying attention to our inner stuff, healing. You know? That's what it's all about. So, yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. And, you know, all my love to all of you.